the Daily Purge. How you doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. My goodness, what a day. My goodness, what a day. As you know, some of you know, I have a daily or a weekly segment on Clubhouse and Breakfast with Champions, which is the largest club. Breakfast with Champions, like 150,000, 140,000 people are in that club. Obviously, not all at the same time, or unfortunately, not all at the same time. I'd love to have that much impact in the world, but it's not always possible. So I have my session every Thursday at 05:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thank goodness I don't live in the Eastern time, or I probably wouldn't be doing it. That 5 a.m. Eastern time is 11:30 my time, and I get to talk about things that matter to me for an hour, and I get to have 300 to 500 people listening every week. And it's amazing because I go really deep. I don't, just like I do with the Daily Purge here, I don't plan what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how it's going to come out. And I base it on the energy in the room and what happened before me, right? Hey, Jay, how you doing? No audio. Oh, shit. No audio. Oh, crazy. How about this? Is there audio on now? Can you hear me now? There we go. Okay, good. All right, good. So, a lot of times, so I have the segment every week at 05:30 Eastern, Eastern time. I have it on Clubhouse and Breakfast with Champions. You're welcome to come by if you're awake that early and you're in the United States. Oh, excuse me, coughed or sneezed, and working now. Thanks, Jay. And so today I was talking about something that I don't know. It's as some of you may know, and some of you may not know, I'm going through something now the last 6 months, and I'm dealing with it in a way that's just making me expand and grow. So I'm very conscious of what's going on, and my mind is being watched by my consciousness, right? So I'm observing myself, and there's something that I realize through the books that I'm reading and the actions that I'm taking and the things that I'm talking to people about, and through articulation of what I'm thinking and what I'm going through, I'm forming models from which I can work, which is what we did for the Humble Alpha book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha as well. It's the same thing. It's articulating our operating system of how we do what we do. And we come up with models that we can teach. And so I'm doing the same thing right now. And one of the things that I'm talking about is, like I wrote, you can think about it all you want, but it's still going to keep happening. And what I'm talking about is life, right? The truth is most of life will unfold in accordance with the forces far outside of your control, regardless of what your mind says about it, because billions of things are going on in this world at the same time. And you can think about it all you want, but life is still going to keep happening. So what does that tell you? It tells you that, man, we get ourselves all caught up and bothered by the things that are going on in the world, and it doesn't even affect us. It doesn't have to affect us. We can't change it anyway. So why worry about it, right? And there's something that said, I forget what his name is, and he says, everything will be okay as soon as you are okay with everything. And that's the only time that everything will ever be okay. How profound is that? Everything will be okay as soon as you're okay with everything, and that's the only time that everything will be okay. I think that's pretty profound if you think about it, because hey brother, how you doing? And so it isn't about us controlling the outside. It's about us letting go of trying to control it on the inside. Our mind, the voice you hear in your head, isn't you. It's your voice. It's your mind talking to you, right? So if we can separate our consciousness from the voice and watch and observe the consciousness from the voice, observe the voice from the consciousness, then we can let go of the trauma, the fear, the pain, the angst, and all these things that are going on in our lives that keeps us riveted to the trauma of the past or the anxiety of the future. And we can get rid of that by observing it from the consciousness and not being that voice in our head. And if you don't think you have a voice in your head, when you take a shower next time, standing there, see how long you can just stand there and take a shower without having a voice telling you something about who's doing what, where, how, and when, what you got to do. Oh, I forgot this. What about that? Oh, I got to do this too. And so that voice is actually there, but that's not you. That's your mind, because your mind has been programmed through the years and years and years and years of humanity to just keep moving on like this, rattling, freaking just blah, 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 blah the whole time. And if you can still that mind, it isn't only meditation that can still that mind. It's also separating your mind from your consciousness. And I know it sounds like really difficult and funny and stuff, but I like to I like to have tangible solutions and ideas and thoughts. So when I get to a point where I have something that's hurting me, and it's been happening, for a while now, that really, really painful, like really, really painful. And when I have that, I separate myself from that pain and observe it. and say, yeah, I see it. I feel it. I can taste it. I can, smell it, whatever you want to do. And but it doesn't have to change who I am. I mean, energy, right? Energy, they say, doesn't die. Energy is endless. So why is it that we get burned out, tired, fall down on the sofa and can't get up? Why is it there's times in our lives where we have zero motivation, zero lust, zero inspiration to do anything? And then suddenly someone calls you a friend or old family, whatever, and you're like that, you're back on track because of something that happened. All it was a decision, right? It was a decision to say, I have the power already in me because energy never dies. So the energy is in me. I'm part of energy. I am part of the universe. The universe is energy. So why wouldn't I have that energy? And it explained to me why I always have energy, right? I'm 55 years old. No one believes it. Like you're like, I've been called the happiest man that I ever know. Like someone told me when I was at the conference, like here's Stephen, the happiest man you'll know. And it isn't about being happy. It's because I'm loving life. Hey, Ginger, how you doing? I'm loving life, my life. There's bad things happening and harsh things and all these things, but it doesn't have to affect me because if I cannot change it, why should I let it affect my energy levels, who I am, how I'm interacting in the world, how I'm stepping into my own personal greatness and affecting change and impact in my world? Hello, Olga, in my world. The only way that we can change the world out there is to change the world in here. You know why? Because if you see it out there, it's in here. If you see something in somebody else that bugs the shit out of you, it's because it's in you, right? So if there's things out there that you want to change, then you got to change it in yourself first. And that means in you and in your world, right? And I firmly believe this. It's a choice. Amen, Ginger. Just like this, right? Say you want to quit smoking, right? What do? You get a patch, you get some gum, you go to the doctor, you get hypnotized, all these things. These are all things, amen, Olga. These are all things that we do to try to get ourselves to stop. But in the end, it's a decision of not ever putting a cigarette between your lips again. That's it. You can say, I want to take the gum. No, it's a decision. Just never put the cigarette between your lips. That's a quote that I heard. Or I heard that story from a book. I don't remember which book it was, but heard it from a. I read so many books, I don't remember. And so if we realize that everything's a decision, the voice in our head isn't us. We can watch it from our consciousness as an outsider looking into our mind, and that we're not part of that mind. It's just our mind going on its own. Man, we are free. And remember, everything will be okay when you believe that everything is okay. And that's the only time that it'll be okay. You've heard it before. Oh, there's always something. There's always something, right? Hey, Steve, how's it going? It's going good, man. But this one thing. Oh, I know, Steve, there's always something. Why is there always something? It's because we think there's always something. Or let's say trauma or PTSD, like I have. I have PTSD. What's the first thing you say? You got to go to therapy. Who says I got to go to therapy? Do I got to go to therapy because I believe I have to go to therapy? Do I? It's like I had this dilemma before. I thought I had cancer a couple years ago. And I was always like, okay, I'm grounded. And if I get cancer, I'm going to beat it because I know with my mind, I can beat cancer. And then I thought I had cancer and my mind went dead. Like I couldn't stop. Like I lost all power, right? Hey, Meta, yeah, let's fly. I believe I can fly. Anyway, so I had lost all power. And I was like, wait a second. I have a strong mind. Why can't I beat this? And I was paralyzed. And that comes because of the programming that we have. That if you have cancer, it's over. Right? To get past that, oh my God, right? Thank God I didn't have it. Knock on wood, thank God I didn't have it. But that showed me right there how powerful the mind is. I immediately allowed myself to be programmed to think that I didn't have a choice. And I do have a choice. I have a choice whether to embrace it or not to embrace it. I can observe it from afar, recognize it, acknowledge it, understand it, but not embrace it and let it in me and let it affect my world and let it affect the things that I'm doing with my kids and my family and my friends, Yeah, thank God, Olga. And that's it, isn't it? Why are you here? Like, why are you here right now? Like, why are you here on this planet right now? Is it so you could get a job and make money and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and watch Netflix? No, of course not. Why are you here? Right? You're here there's a mission that you're on. You're here for a reason. There's got to be a reason why you're here. That's my belief. And if you don't know what that reason is, right? If you don't know what your mantra is, if you don't know what your life mission is, if you don't know what your vision or mission or whatever it is, then I would highly suggest you try and figure that out. Now, there's no end game. It's changing all the time because the world around you changes, right? So there's no like, I'm here, I made it, I'm done. That doesn't exist, in my opinion, right? When people say I've made it, no, you haven't. You just made it to the bottom floor of the next level, you know. So, and there's a lot to be said for those people who can do what I'm talking about. I can't do it all the time. There's things that really affect me. Like really, it's like a sledgehammer to the skull, right? But acknowledging it's a sledgehammer to the skull and that it hurts, and then separating yourself from that in that moment. I mean, look, if you have a negative thought, if you have a negative feeling, or you start finding yourself, you know, there's an analogy, not analogy, a story he uses is like you have a girlfriend and a boyfriend that left you a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, or 6 months ago, and then you're driving down the road, you see their car drive by with two people in the front seat kissing, and suddenly you have this feeling, and you're like, damn, man, oh, man, I can't believe this, and you're going off on that, and you're like, wait a second. Why are you doing that? Why are you letting that do that to you? You can look and say, wow, negative thought. They're kissing. I hope they're in love, and I hope they're having a good time. You know what I mean? Even if she did break your heart, or he broke your heart. And when you can do that, that's observing. And when you can do that, that sort of gives you an idea of how powerful we are. And I can tell you this, when you forgive and you do things like that, the power that you have inside of you is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like a cleansing almost. It's the same thing with HIT, honesty, integrity, and transparency that we always talk about. When you're honest for the first time, like bare bones, naked honesty with yourself, and then you allow that honesty to be carried into the world through the transparency, and it becomes your ongoing reputation, the power that you have, you can stand anywhere you want and say whatever you want. And because it's coming from a place of integrity, and because it's coming from a place of truth and transparency, it doesn't matter what you say, people are going to understand you. They're not going to have anything against you. And if they have anything against you, they'll be screaming into a cavern, a cave, right? And they'll be hearing their own echo because no one else will listen. And that's, there's something to be said about that. You know, if you look at cancel culture, right? People say, oh, they cancel those people. Well, no, there's a reason they're saying what they're saying. They're saying, like, a comedian will say something to get a rise out of somebody else. So there, it's not coming from a place of integrity. It's coming from a place of leverage. A politician lies their ass off, right? And they'll say something else and they'll get canceled. Well, they were saying that because they wanted a specific outcome. Thank you, Olga. You know, they wanted a specific outcome. And again, we talk about that, focusing on the intention and not the outcome. No cookie cutter solutions or preconceived notions. Focus on your intention. What's your intention in life? The internal intention, the external intention. Internal intention is the will to act. But you're not acting yet, right? Acting is the external intention. That's taking action, putting one foot in front of the other, imperfect action, creating as you go, co-creating with the world around you. And if we can think like this and let go of what's out there and what we think that we have to achieve, let go of the cookie cutter things that everyone says we should be getting as a result when we do this, that, or the other, right? And focusing on the intention, your world changes. Your world gets better. You get better. You feel cleaner. You feel more. I had a call today with a person for the first time, never met before. Met her like 2 days ago online. We had a call, and she was like, "You're like exactly like you are like on your videos." And I was like, "Well, yeah." And she's like, "Well, most people aren't." And I said, "Yeah, because they're trying to be somebody. They have an expectation. Okay, this person sees me like that, so I got to act like that. I got to be like that." And then you're stiff and you're boring or whatever. And I don't give a damn about any impression that I'm making because there's no outcome that I'm going for right here. The only outcome I have in this that I know is going to happen is I'm purging my thoughts to you so I could articulate them, so I could have them on record so that one day, who knows, the next Humble Alpha book, we can write them all out. And this will all be part of it. Right? It makes sense. That's why I'm purging. I purge for me. It's just, you just happen to be watching, and I appreciate it. It's like you guys are my therapist. You know, I visualize my anxiety as monsters sometimes. I had a monster with me during the whole job interview once. It was one of the best interviews. That's very cool. Actually, really, really good idea. And you know what I thought of when you said monsters? I thought of Monster Inc. That movie, and Sully, the big monster. Like, I don't know why I just thought about that, but that was pretty cool. So you can tell I have kids. If you don't know what Monster Inc. is, you need to go look at it. Or ask your grandkids or your kids or your brother's kids or your sister's kids or whatever, because it's a good movie. Yeah, I wanted to get that out today because I think it's very important that when we realize that the voice in our head, right, the voice in our head isn't us, and that we can watch that with our consciousness. And when we watch that with our consciousness and observe it, then we don't become a part of that thought. And we don't let those thoughts dictate our mood, our energy in the outside world, and we don't let it impact those in our life enterprise. Nothing. We are the ones that decide. Everything, Olga, everything you need right here. Right here. It's all right here. Everything you ever needed, it's right here. And everything you ever want, it's right here. It's right here. And you're probably saying, Stephen, you're saying all this stuff. Why don't you have everything you want? Why don't you have? Because I'm not a master. You know what I mean? I'm a student right now. That's why I'm talking to you. Like I'm learning, and I learn through teaching, right? That's the best way to learn, they say. And the repetition solely rocks, exactly, Olga. And repetition is the mother of all learning, right? So I repeat and I repeat and I repeat. That's why you hear me talking about HIT. I can talk about HIT in my sleep now. Matter of fact, I have an app that records me when I start speaking and snoring or whatever, and recording. I was saying HIT. I was like, oh, HIT. In my sleep. So yeah, it's internalized. Why? Because repetition is the mother of all learning. Yes, indeed. Learning with you, brother. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you so much. It's good to see you guys. I sort of miss you guys, everybody in the tribe and everything, but it had to happen. It's time to move on. It's time to make things happen and sort of grow in a different way. So, there's some things going on now that will change a bunch of stuff for me as well, which is going to be exciting and amazing, and getting ready to head to Houston, Texas on Sunday from the 1st to the 5th. And then after that, I'm in Peru with Lane, Sarah, a bunch of other friends, Cher, Jonathan Bowman Perks, Maria. So many people are coming. It's gonna be 9 people in there in total for us. Peru. We have 1 spot left. If you want to go to Peru, let us know. Right, we have 1 spot left. It's from the 5th to the 14th, I think it is. Yeah, you can come and join us. Miss you too. Never far away here from. Oh, thanks, Ginger. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are such good people. You and David. I got to tell you. Check out Ginger and David. They're the ones who do all of our Vetpreneur Tribe shirts, all of our Have stuff, all of our Humble Alpha stuff, all the t-shirts, swag, and all that stuff. Go to the website, check it out. You can get yourself a Humble Alpha t-shirt. You can get yourself a QOL t-shirt. You can get yourself a Vetpreneur Tribe t-shirt or a hat or mugs. I got mugs. I got all kinds of stuff from Ginger and David. They do vinyl too. They do like big vinyl things as well. So go check them out, Ginger and David. Go ahead and pop your website in the link in the chat there, Ginger or David, whoever's watching. Right. All right. Rock and roll. That's what I'm talking about. What a great day. What a great way to end the day. Impact all the way around, right? All the way around. My world, my responsibility, my impact, right? I deserve it. Hey, both. Awesome. I deserve it, right? You deserve it. But only you can do it. No one will do it for you, nor should they, right? All right. Everybody hit it. There we go. Everybody have a fantastic one. Thank you for tuning in today. I feel like I had a good session today. Good check, good purge, good articulation. Reallydesigns.biz. There you go. And so thank you. Yes, indeed. And as Olga says, it's all about quality of life. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.